Feeling defeated in Idaho, says my man, Dennis. All right, Dennis the Menace. He's working with a guy. He has entered all our data into this Monte Carlo program. He says we only have a 9% probability of success. My man Dennis is currently working. He says his wife has Social Security disability, but he doesn't say how much these Social Security is or his Social Security himself for old Dennis the Menace here. So we're going to make some assumptions. He's got about $965,000 in 401ks and IRAs. He'll get a small $500 a month pension at 62. His home is worth $675. His mortgage is $142. No other debt, and his mortgage will be paid off in 6 years. His expenses are $5,500 a month. All right, so that's all we got to go on. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you. Oh my goodness, I only have 11% probability of success. All right, so just bear with me here. This will be fun. It'll be a fun exercise for you guys. All right, so we're going to hit profile, and we're going to see he's got investment. We're going to put it all into Wellington. All right, so he's got $964,000 in Wellington. We're going to hit property. He's got $675 in his house. So we're going to assume it's $6,000 a year in property tax and $2,000 a year in homeowners insurance. All right, so that's his net worth. When we go back to the dashboard, his net worth is $964 in investments, his 401k IRAs, $675 in his house. Now we also have a loan outstanding here, and we're going to show you expenses. I amortized on $145,000. I amortized it over 6 years at I think at 4% interest, and that'll give us $2,261 a month for 6 years, and that'll be paid off. All right. So now what let's do pre-retirement living expenses. He said $5,500. All right, there we go. And then we're going to go post-retirement living expenses, $5,500. That's what he told me. All right, but then we also have healthcare costs. So we got pre-Medicare. I'm just using an example. If he were able to get subsidized Obamacare stuff, about $5,000 a year. Now his wife is already on. Is she on Medicare? She's on SSDI, so I think it's Medicare. But anyway, be it as it may, I'm using $5,000 a year pre-Medicare, and then once they're on Medicare, I'm using $550 a month per person, if that makes sense. All right, so I hope that makes sense. All right, so we'll get this a little bit deeper. We're going to say Jane retired. That's Dennis's wife, Jane. I don't know what her name is. It might not be Jane. Retired at 60. She's already retired. And we're going to say Dennis retires at the end of this year. All right. And then, so Jane is on Medicare now, we're assuming. And then Dennis will be right here. Oh, right there. That's what we want. There we go. Good. And Dennis will have $2,500 a month until he's on Medicare. Hope that makes sense. All right. Then we're going to assume that Jane's Social Security, because she has SSDI, we'll assume her PIA is $2,000 a month, but we're going to have her taking it at 62 at a reduced amount because I don't know what it is. So we're just going to throw a reduced amount out there just because I don't know what else it could be. And then we're going to assume that John or Dennis's Social Security is $2,750 at his full retirement age. All right, I don't know what his is either. And then we got a pension income here, and then he's making $80,000 a year. I literally don't know. We're throwing all these numbers out because he didn't tell me, and that's fine because he's not a paying customer. So we're going to go off the best we can. All right, hope that all makes sense. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to, is that all I wanted to say? Yeah, so we're going to go to retirement. I'm going to show you why we only have an 11% probability of success. And we're going to go down here, and we're going to look at okay, there we go. That looks good. That looks good. All right, good. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to cash flows. All right. So we're going to go to cash flows, and we're going to say, here's his first year retirement. He's got an income flow. That'll be Jane's Social Security plus his pension of $6,000 a year. So you'll see, because she's taking it early, it's going to be reduced. You only get $17,000 a year plus his pension. I guess pension inflated with inflation. I doubt that happens, but again, we're just going to go with it. But he's got expenses of $108,000 plus $16,000 in taxes because the only money he has is going to come from his 401k, which means he's going to have to pay taxes on that money. All right, so he's going to be pulling $101,000 a year from a portfolio that's only worth $965,000. All right, so the expenses include $5,500 a month for living expenses, $8,000 for his property tax and homeowners insurance, $5,200 a year for health care, and then $27,000 for his mortgage. So his total expenses are $108,000. Now, I don't know if that is all inclusive or not. I mean, I don't know. He said his expenses are $5,500. I assume that did not include the mortgage. So I just want to show you something. So we're going to go to retirement, and then we're going to take that mortgage off and assume that that mortgage was part of that expense. Does that make sense? So he said his expenses are $5,500 a month. Is that expense of $5,500 a month all inclusive or not? Many people who I do the retirement planning for, they say my expenses are $5,500 a month, but that includes their mortgage, that includes their health insurance, that includes their property and income tax. Well, that's a big change because again, if that's all inclusive, that's $66,000 a year as opposed to $108,000 a year before taxes. Does that make sense? So if expenses are critical, man, you got to get these spot on. Are $5,500 a month expenses all inclusive or not? Now let's just say that mortgage is part of the $5,500, and he just didn't tell me that. So we're going to just go down here and we're going to eliminate the mortgage. We're just say pretend that's part of it because of $5,500 a month include the mortgage. Let's see what we're at now. Now we're at 36%. All right, now we say, okay, what if the health care was part of the $5,500 a month? We're going to say 0 here and 0 there. And $5,500 a month is all inclusive. What if that was the case? All right, now we're at what? 77%. I hope that makes sense. There's so much to look at here in terms of what is the actual expenses. Now, I want to show you something else here. So basically, until we know expenses, deep down, we don't know if this guy is freaking going to be able to retire. So here he is. Current plan, $124,000 a year is what he needs. He's only got $24,000 coming in from his pension and Jane's Social Security. So he's going to need to pull $100,000 a year from a portfolio that is worth what? It's $965,000. Oh, by the way, we're giving him a 4% rate of return with 11% standard deviation. So in this case, our 4% rate of return is our mean. Mean is the average. And we take the standard deviation, basically 11, we times it by 3, and we have a plus minus 33. So in any great year, we're going to be up 37%. In any bad year, we're going to be down 29%. That's how this works. All right. Wellington's worst case scenario is 22%, and that's in 2008. So I like to err on the side of caution. But I'm going to share with you why this is this thing is silly here. All right, so he ran out of money, right? Because we got an 11% probability of success, and the current plan, yeah, he ran out of money. All right, so actually, let me just go back here and put these numbers back in there. 2261, boink. We want to go back here and put the healthcare cost, 3,500 and 3,500. All right, so he is running out of money. We're going to just do this right here. All right, so this should be an 11% probability of success. Or 14%, excuse me. So, oh my, lands right there. When he's 77 years old, 50% of the time he has no money. All right, and so you can see right here. I mean, he's out. He's out, man. He's out like he got punched in the face. All right, so let's show you something else here too. We're going to go to cash flows. We're going to go to income. So he ran out of money. We all know that for a fact. He ran out of money right there at 80 years old. He still has $86,000 coming in. How did I get that $86,000? Well, let's take a look. We got Social Security and his pension. Again, that pension is probably not being inflated, but either way, he's got $80,000 a year coming in 20 years, regardless. Even though he has no more liquid assets, he's got $80,000 coming in. If we go to net worth, what else he got? Oh, he's got this house that's worth $800,000, $1 million. So he's got no money, but he's sitting on income of $80,000 a year plus a house that's worth $1 million. I mean, it's so freaking stupid, man. All right, so then on part 2 of this, I'm going to show you something else. I just changed a couple things on the Monte Carlo stuff. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So instead of having a 4% rate of return for Wellington, I got 5.3. Well, again, same standard deviation of 5.3, and that's all we've done differently is we changed the rate of return from 4 to 5.3. Right? This is probably my expectations, frankly. I actually think that going forward, given the market where we are now, the market looks more attractive now than it did just 3 months ago because the market is down. Anyway, so 5.3 is my rate of return expectations for Wellington with the same standard deviation. So if we look at it now, we say, okay, what will that do differently? Everything stays the same except this right here. 5.3 now is the standard, is the average rate of return. So 5.3 plus 33% would be on any given year would be up 38.8, and on any given down year would be down about 27%. About 33 minus 5.3, about 20, but we'll just say 28. So with a higher rate of return, yeah, right on, right? 33 minus 5.8. Yeah, 27. 27, there we go. So we have actually less downside risk and more upside potential with a higher rate of return. All right, so we've increased our ability to retire with a higher average rate of return, lower downside risk, and higher upside potential. Not much, but I mean a little bit, and that gives us a 6. And then we also got rid of the assuming the mortgage is part of the 5,500. And I don't know, man. I don't know. We got rid of that. So now we're at 56%. All right, that's still pretty good. That means the median, you have $50,000 when you die. Now, I just want to show you something again. The idea that this guy is going to be spending this kind of money in his late 80s is silly to me. But look, I'm just going off what this guy says. So here's the expenses. He's 80 years old. He's spending $83,000. You can see that's the drop off. That's my retirement spending stages. It drops by 10% there. Still got his housing, still got his health care, still spending $131,000 a year. And the housing against property tax, homeowners insurance. I highly suspect that's not going to be the case. But let's just say it is. We're still going to go back to the summary. Still going to show you cash flows. Right here, he ran out of money. And see, this isn't quite what I like because this just says it's a linear 5.3% rate of return. So he didn't run out of. Let's go back here actually, because he does run out of money, I think, in the proposed. Yeah. So again, he ran out of money here at 84 years old. Wow, he ran out of money. Oh no, he's still got $95,000 coming in from pensions and his Social Security. And he still has a net worth of, at 84 years old, $1.13 million. The idea of not downsizing, taking reverse mortgage, just is freaking stupid, man. Anyway, there you go. So it's all depending on your what they're using for expenses, and that's based on you, the client. It's not based on this guy. It's based on you. Don't just throw it. If you're gonna freaking be serious about retirement planning, don't just throw out there like, oh, I'm spending $5,500 a month. Is that all inclusive or not? Is it? Do you know? And then don't gripe about some guy who only gives you 9% Monte Carlo. Because you're like, well, he's just telling you what, I mean, I have no idea what he's using for his inputs. But I just showed you how I had, 14%. We can adjust it. But until you know your expenses, I don't want to hear it. And look, I'm not chastising this guy. I have no clue. He might have told me the right thing. I don't know. I'm just going off assumptions. Anyway, point being is, it's really contingent on your expenses and what they're using for Monte Carlos. That's it, man. All right. Hope this helps. Don't send me a bunch of emails. Well, can you run mine with all these different? I had a guy send me an email. Hey, quick question, Josh. It was like 8 freaking paragraphs. I was like, that's not a quick question. That's why I don't answer the phone, by the way. Hey, you got 10 minutes? No, I don't, because it's never 10 minutes. Well, I got you on the phone. Dude, I'm not a rookie at this stuff, my friends. I've been around for a long time. Hey, you got 10 minutes so I can just run some things by you? No, I don't. Because what happens is 40 minutes later, you're still running things by me. All right. Whatever your thoughts, we'll see you